My God, I hate trucks.
President Duterte says he will declare Boracay Island as a land reform area. Speaking at a Bureau of Customs event this afternoon, Mr. Duterte said lawmakers who want to keep commercial establishments in the island may opt to just allow it in a small portion of the tourist destination. Here's the president in his own words.
I am declaring land reforms the entire island of Boracay. Mag-usap na lang kami sa Congress. The entire island will be declared as a land reform area. Para sagarin na natin. Give it to the people. I would just suggest that if you really want to maintain the commercial quality of that place, maybe you can cut a strip. And inland, baka bigyan mo siguro ng easement na about 30 meters. But that's it. Total, ang interesado dyan, yung beach lang man.
Special Assistant to the President Bongo said the order formally declaring the island as a land reform area will come soon. Finance Secretary Sonny Dominguez, however, clarifies only some parts of Boracay will be declared as a land reform area.
Some, not all, because you know, like in any community in the Philippines, some areas are forest land, some areas are alienable and disposable, some are not. Okay, so we have to go title by title or area by area and see exactly what those are.
Dominguez says investors in the island should not worry about seeing their businesses shut down if they were able to secure necessary and valid permits for their shops. He says officials will have to check on businesses title by title in determining which ones can legally continue to operate. This Thursday, CNN Philippines tackles the government's Build program in its first ever business forum. Our senior correspondent Ruth Cabal tells us what experts and officials discussed.
In what could be the country's most massive and ambitious infrastructure plan, the Build program is on track. That's according to the Duterte administration's economic managers. They're saying that half of the 75 flagship projects are already processed. Some are undergoing construction, others are nearing completion. The end goal, they say, is to give a comfortable life for all Filipinos. In Building for the Future Business Forum, CNN Philippines talked to key officials involved in the Build program. Budget Secretary Benjamin Jokno, Economic Planning Secretary Ernesto Pernia, Transportation Secretary Art Tugade, Public Works Secretary Mark Villar, and Basis Conversion Development Authority President Vince Dizon. Secretary Jokno says an indication that the program is on track is that spending for infrastructure has greatly increased. In the last 50 years, the government only spent 2.6% of the country's gross domestic product on infrastructure, when the acceptable level is double this. Last year, infra spending was at 4.6% of the GDP, and this year, the government is targeting to increase this to 6.1% of the GDP. In total, the government is allotting 8.9 trillion pesos for the program, which involves 75 flagship projects composed of roads, airports, and seaports and railways, including the Metro Manila subway. The DBM assures funding is in place, 75% from domestic and 25% from foreign financing.
Yes, I'm happy where we are. It's not easy to do this kind of massive, ambitious program in 2 years. But what we did was to maybe complete some projects which were not started, but we are finishing right now. For example, the Panglao International Airport will be done this August. Okay, Panglao, that's been lying down there for 10 years. The Cebu International Airport, the Cebu Second International, we will complete that this June.
Terminal 2.
The Clark International Airport, that's been started now, right? It's ongoing.
On the part of transportation, therefore, if you will ask for criteria and view this in the light of the President's directive of making the Filipino comfortable, what will be the criteria? The criteria will be mobility. The criteria will be connectivity. The criteria will be to enhance the movement and transfer of people and goods. And then ultimately, this will be translated into one word: comfortable.
What sets this program apart from past programs and past governments? I think there are three things. First is the boldness in the decision-making that's being done by this government. Second is the swift action that's being undertaken. And third is the unity of purpose of all the departments.
Alongside the Build, Build, Build program is the Jobs, Jobs, Jobs program, where the government hopes to create more than 1 million jobs annually. Ruth Cabal, CNN Philippines.
You can watch the full forum tomorrow. A lot of questions will be tackled with the country's economic managers. The event is moderated by CNN international correspondent Andrew Stevens and CNN Philippines chief correspondent Pia Ontiveros. Catch our special presentation, Building for the Future. Initial telecast is on Friday, 7 p.m., only here on CNN Philippines. Food giant Magnolia responds to a report by the Labor Department that identified the company in the top 20 firms suspected of practicing illegal contracting. In a statement, Magnolia believes its inclusion in the list stems not from its labor contracting, but from the use of certain machinery and equipment leased by a Labor Department accredited independent service provider whose workers maintain and operate them. Magnolia says it is willing to cooperate with the agency on the matter. Government officials say more than 200,000 workers from over 3,000 companies are affected because of the illegal labor scheme. This comes after President Duterte issued an executive order a month ago clamping down on illegal contracting and subcontracting of workers. How are local stocks shaping up, and what's your peso's worth against world currencies? Check out your screen right now.
It's already 7:21. Now here's a quick traffic check. This is the Alabang main line from the Skyway. For those headed to Metro Manila this morning, you can expect delays on the toll gates, but traffic here is green and go. Get the Southern Tollways app on your device to know the traffic conditions on the Skyway, the SLEX, and the Star Tollways. More stories for you this new day. Nintendo Switch users, listen up, a new Pokemon game is heading your way soon. And Disney fans get another look at one iconic villain. We have updates on the sequel of the hit spin-off film, Maleficent. Back after a quick break. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines.
Boracay. When can we go back to Boracay? When can we go back to Boracay? Actually, I have a bucket list of, well, not all 700 or 7,100 something. That Duterte sees no reason to fire Solicitor General Jose Calida. That is as Calida faces criticism for the 150 million pesos worth of government contracts bagged by his family's security agency. Here's the president in his own words.
Itong si Calida, matagal naman yung security guard niya. Noon pa yan, why should I fire him? He's good. He's also from Davao. But Ilocano yan. Karamihan yung mga Ilocano. He's good. Bakit? Wala na ba tayong katuwiran magdegosyo? Ano nila is na, as long as you do not participate.
We hear more on the issue from Solicitor General himself on The Source. Catch his full interview with our senior anchor and correspondent, Pinky Webb, live at 9 a.m.
From the top stories here in the country to headlines across the globe, a top North Korean official is now in the U.S. trying to set up a historic summit with President Donald Trump. King Yong-chol landed in New York for talks with U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. It's been 18 years since any North Korean official of his rank visited the U.S. Negotiators are trying to reschedule the summit between President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. It was originally set for June 12th in Singapore. Before President Trump called it off, the White House now says the administration is still aiming for a June 12th meeting.